Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. We'll have a bit of a chat about what is happening here in Spain. We may go into the newspapers and check out what is happening there from a press point of view, and then at the end of the video we'll go into the comment section and check out what is happening there, because there were quite a few comments left on yesterday's video. It seems that if you mention the word Joe Biden, people hit the keyboard. So what's going on around the country today? Well, when it comes to the vaccination campaign, there is some new news, and it is that the government has decided to make vaccinations available for everybody over the age of 12. As we can see here, they have given the green light to vaccinate the age groups 30 to 39, 20 to 29, and 12 to 19. So things starting to move very, very quickly here in Spain as far as COVID-19 vaccines are concerned. And I imagine it's just a question of time before the different autonomous communities around the country start vaccinating those groups that we just mentioned there. Now, another piece of news that caught my attention in the press today is about the outdoor mask wearing mandate. The Prime Minister, PM Sanchez, has spoken, and apparently he is confident that soon the outdoor mask wearing mandate here in Spain will be dropped. Of course, it's all going to depend on whether a safe distance can be maintained between people. For example, if you're in a busy part of the city and the streets are very crowded, you are going to have to wear a mask, no doubt. But if you find yourself in a part of the city that is not very crowded, you will be able to take your mask off. But the exact date when this is going to happen is not clear, but I imagine it's going to be for some time in July. I think there are 8 autonomous communities here in Spain that have been pushing for this mask rule to be dropped, although not everybody is in favour of this. And in places like Andalusia, for example, I've read that a majority of people down there want to keep wearing masks in all situations. I can't remember the exact percentage, but I think that over 50% of people down there surveyed want to keep the outdoor mask rule compulsory. So it looks as though it's going to depend on where you are in Spain as to what the mask rules are. Now we'll go into the English version of El País, because there's an article there that caught my attention about cricket, believe it or not. And we can see the headline here: the never-ending challenge of playing cricket in Madrid. There is no proper field in the city, but hundreds of players from various teams do their best to play the second most popular sport in the world. So the never-ending challenge of playing cricket in this part of the world. And in the article they interview the president of the Madrid Cricket Club, a guy called John. And if you have been watching my videos for the last few years, you'll know that John was a regular contributor on this channel about 3 years ago. We did a series of videos about living here in Spain, so if you're interested, check them out. And basically the problem that the Madrid Cricket Club has, as we saw, is that they can't find a decent ground. There's no problem to get a ground to play football, there's no problem to find a court to play tennis. You can even find baseball fields here in Madrid, but you can't find one for cricket. And it seems that no local council is willing to provide an open space where they can play. And when it comes to playing their league home games, they have to travel down to La Manga in Murcia, which is about 400 kilometers away. And this is a problem that's been going on for years and years, so hopefully they can get it sorted soon. Now, another piece of news that caught my attention today are the record petrol prices and electricity prices that we currently have here in Spain. As we can see from this headline here, gasoline reaches its highest price in 7 years, while the cost of electricity reaches its highest price ever. So petrol prices through the roof, electricity prices through the roof. What is going on? I think it's fairly common for petrol prices to go up just before summer, but this is ridiculous. So a lot of people, I imagine, are going to have problems filling up the car or paying those electricity bills. And I think I read that one of the consumer protection agencies here in Spain said that the average electricity bill is going to increase by 28 euros. Now let's leave the news and go into the comment section and check out what's happening there. And we'll have a look at this one here from customer regarding the COVID certificate. I went to my medical centre this morning, no temperature checks now for anyone entering, and was told that the Murcian system is not working yet and it will be another couple of weeks. I also asked if they could print off my certificate, same answer, so guess we'll have to wait until July. Yeah, customer, thanks for the comment. I think I mentioned yesterday that the COVID certificate is available in some autonomous communities here in Spain, but not in all the autonomous communities. For example, here in Madrid, I don't think it's available. You said there in Murcia, it is not available, so it depends where you are. The idea, I believe, is to have it up and running in the whole country by the end of the month. And I believe that in addition to the certificates that the autonomous communities are going to issue, the central government is also issuing digital COVID certificates. So if you are in a hurry, you can look into that. If not, wait a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that one down there in Murcia will be ready. One here from Sailing Yacht Frida. I think you are easy to understand. I am from Sweden, sailing in northern Spain, and I find your updates about different news stories and, of course, the COVID situation really valuable. Thanks thanks and keep up the good work. Yeah, Sailing Yacht, thanks for the comment, and what I wouldn't give to be sailing in the north of Spain at the moment, but unfortunately I'm stuck here in the centre of the country where it's very dry and there is no water to be found. And glad to see that you find the information that I provide on this channel useful. And on the subject of whether or not I am easy to understand, we had a few comments from people saying that I speak too quickly, asking me to slow down a little bit, but I saw plenty of comments on yesterday's video from non-native speakers of English who said that they could understand me perfectly. So I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing the way that I'm doing it, not try to change too much, and as long as I speak clearly, people should be able to understand me. One here from Pat. Hi Stuart, thanks for keeping us updated and informed. The current situation for travelling in and out of Spain, with the exception of a few countries, is that a negative PCR test is required. For instance, in Austria, although they don't require a negative PCR test if you are vaccinated, do ask for it while inside the country at most of their museums and cultural events. This is expensive, at least where I live in the Costa del Sol. We calculated that for a family of 4 it would cost around €1,200 both ways. Then what is the purpose of the digital certificate and the vaccine certificate, which as I understand it are two different things? Yeah, Pat, thanks for the comment and good question, and you're right, it is going to be an extra expense for a lot of people if you have to fork out €1,200 to travel to a country and they ask you for a negative PCR test to visit a museum. I understood that the digital vaccine certificate means that you don't have to have a negative PCR test if you are vaccinated, or that if you haven't been vaccinated you have to have a negative PCR test result in that digital certificate. I thought it was either one or the other and not both. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense that you have to have a negative PCR test result if you have been fully vaccinated. But I think that this whole digital COVID certificate thing is relatively new, and that all of these glitches that we currently have in the system will be ironed out over the next few weeks or months, or at least I hope so. One here from Arthur. Stuart, a continuing thanks for the videos. Your information regarding the 2 jabs, I think, is mistaken. My wife and I had COVID in January-February, recovering in early March. I then got vaccinated on the 14th of the 4th and the 5th of the 5th with Pfizer. No problems. My wife completed hers 2 weeks ago. We've also got both Andalusian and EU certificates showing the dates of jabbing, a necessity to get the certificate. Being 19 vet is immaterial, it just prolongs your immunity. Would it be a bit naughty of me to add that I can do without rabbit Brits on my doorstep this summer, spoiling my lunch day on the coast? Mohakat? Arthur, thanks for the comment. I mentioned in yesterday's video that people who have had COVID in the last 6 months only need to get 1 dose of the vaccines, but I read this morning that that is for people under the age of 65. So if you are over the age of 65 and you have had COVID recently, you need to get both doses. So I hope that clears up the confusion. And would it be a bit naughty of you saying that you don't want rabid Brits on your doorstep spoiling your lunch down there in Mojaca? I don't think so. In fact, I think a lot of people are looking forward to having a peaceful summer this year here in Spain without mass tourism, unless that is, of course, you own a bar, a hotel or a restaurant. One here from JMG. Hi Stuart, I have noticed that you have in almost all the videos between 13 and 18 dislikes, which means that you have almost 20 haters that watch every single video that you upload. Keep up the good work. Yeah, JMG, thanks for the comment. I'm not really sure how many haters I have exactly. I'm not sure on the exact amount of dislikes that I get per video either. I normally only see a percentage, and it's normally a 97 or 98% thumbs up and a 2 or 3% thumbs down. So I'm fairly happy with that percentage of likes versus dislikes. But let's be honest, there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't like what you say. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the way you look. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like the way you speak or the accent that you have. But that's life and you can't please everyone. One here from Dickie. It's nice and quiet in Portugal, really enjoying it. Heading to my casa in northern Portugal tomorrow. Little village, few people, my kind of enjoyment. Yeah, Dickie, thanks for the comment and how lucky you are to be in Portugal at the moment. Again, what I wouldn't give to be there also. And a nice quiet Portugal is also the Portugal that I enjoy the most. I don't like crowds. I like to be able to walk empty streets. I like going to beaches that aren't too crowded, and hopefully that's going to be the case when I get there. But I imagine in August, as usual, that will change when all of those people from the north of Europe decide to go to Portugal on holiday, and a lot of people here in Spain this summer, I imagine, will decide to cross the border, go into Portugal, check out what the country is like, considering that they most likely won't travel to other foreign destinations this year. That's what it was like last year, at least in the place that I went to. You could hear more Spanish spoken in the streets than Portuguese almost. So enjoy it while you can, Dickie, because I imagine it's going to change the closer we get to August. And finally, one here from Mr. Tigre. Stuart, you look different in the face since you took that Pfizer jab. Yeah, Mr. Tigre, thanks for the comment. I have also noticed that my face has changed since I had that Pfizer jab. Don't know what the exact problem is, but I look as though I have aged about 20 years. My skin feels a lot drier, I've got more wrinkles, I've lost some hair, but apart from that, I don't feel too bad. And by the way, Bill Gates got in contact with me the other day to make sure that the microchip is working okay. On that note, I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.